I'm your host, Chris Burgos, and this is NDI Central Live. Hey everybody, today I'm here on NDI Central Live with Ron from AJT. Ron, how's it going, man?
Oh, it's going great, Chris. Thanks for tapping me to talk today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we are really, it's a great honor to have you here. I have personally been following what you guys have been doing for a while. My own self having a background in doing some college sports in my production life before coming into tech, and very familiar with what you guys do. But for anyone who hasn't interacted with AJT before, can you tell us a little bit about the company?
Sure. We really we actually have been in business 20 years, building building a platform for graphics, and really off the bat we decided to focus on sports. It was a niche that worked well for us. So in the last 3 years, we've come out with a very specialized system that addresses the needs of sports broadcasters. So it's the Livebook GFX, and it's an all-in-one graphic system that's specialized for sports production.
Yeah, Livebook, very popular, especially in sort of the NDI ecosystem. And let's talk about that. Like, Livebook was out for a little while. Obviously, AJT's been around for, like you said, 20 years. And you guys sort of integrating NDI into your product. What did that sort of do for you guys, and what have you guys been seeing since then?
I can't overstate it. Really enabled what we're able to do today, because we're able to come out with a very portable form factor. So our real niche is portable form factor, having a laptop system that has all the power of, previously was racks of equipment for production and SDI components, and now we've shrunk that all down. We have two channels of key field graphics, all rendering out of a laptop, and it's not possible to do. To really enable the product is really where we went with NDI. So it's a great it's a great story. So it enabled the product from a point of view of functionally, and also the price point in the system. And now we got rid of the SDI hardware and such, and we're just using the 10-cent Ethernet connector on the laptop, and we're able to generate two channels of key field graphics, which is what our customers want. And they want that for their professional and down into the college ranks. They want that two channels of key field graphics for their sports productions. Yeah,
Ron, I think we see this sort of all the points you hit. Like you can be a guy who really leverages the Livebook setup, and actually go to a college site with your setup in hand, right? You can carry that in your backpack in tow, and just go up, drop down, and you're ready to go. Prior to some of the things you guys have been doing, and like that space was always exactly what you said. Like, here's a rack full of equipment, and you had very specialized guys doing this stuff, and that was fine. That was the way of the world for a while in the sports world, and now we sort of see like this progress and explosion where young, bright minds can get involved with Livebook and sort of touch this stuff. It's a more contemporary technology. It's leveraging things that they're more used to, and that sort of drops the barrier for entry. Obviously, you talked about price savings, but just also, strictly speaking, it's technology they're used to. It's a laptop, and I think that sort of segues into where I wanted to go next, which is, in terms of where you guys started and what your initial outlook for Livebook was. How has been you talked about 3 years. Let's just talk about since last NAB. How's the clientele sort of grown, and what are the new sort of cool clients that you guys are seeing coming your way?
Well, a big part of our business is working with the ESPN Plus and ESPN ecosystem. We have a really deep relationship with ESPN. So now with the Livebook, we have all of the basically graphics and other functionality that all the ESPN requires, all integrated into the Livebook. Literally, when we ship the system out, the next day, our customer opens up the system, plugs in the Ethernet to get the NDI, and they're doing the ESPN production. So, again, with the price point and the features and the functionality we have, it's super compelling. So we've been leveraging that, and we have a number of wins. We've we've expanded our presence with the Ivy League and what they're doing on ESPN. We won in the last year we won the Ohio Valley Conference. So we have 13 schools that are using our system there, and that was in partnership with New Tech. Directly, we did that rollout. We have an ongoing partnership with the NBA and the G League, and again, all of these opportunities I'm talking about are all actually in partnership with New Tech and using the TriCaster. I think the G League is just a great story, where it's very, very compact system. The NBA is able to unpack our system, and sometimes the system gets packed and unpacked nightly, and they're able to do a pop on a very light, compact production, but still very, very good production values. With our system, it integrates stats, it integrates clock and score, and different levels of graphics, and it looks like a full-blown production truck. That combined with obviously the TriCaster and 3Play, it's 3 boxes that makes a complete production system.
Yeah, I wanted to just speak really briefly on some of these pieces, but we're talking about things like ESPN Plus and the G League. These are really sort of the emerging things that we're seeing as, the flexibility of something like your guys' solution becomes more prominent. The idea that these are NDI ecosystems means that you can have these things, like you said, pop up in, overnight. We're sending things, gears can be shipped around for different colleges, or in something like the G League, which is this sort of, this cool project that, hey, you know what, this new technology, this is the good testing grounds. One of the things I always see, and one of the things I would say you guys should be looking into, is on the other side of the world, in the digital side of the world, we have this growing eSports market, this growing gaming market.
Right.
And these guys are very in tune with the technology. And this is sort of something that, I would say, if you guys are looking for new guys, this is going to be the place where we will see a lot of growth as well. And the same concept. These are young emerging groups that are, they're starving to make something look phenomenal. And sometimes it has to come across with the technology meeting sort of the functionality, and that's something you guys do really well.
Yeah, thank you. One of the things we've been in touch with a lot of esports and esports production companies, and actually a lot of our staff are also avid gamers and streamers. So we understand that market well. One of our claims to fame is really we tune our operator interface to the actual sport that we're doing. So we really don't have that operator interface that would really sing for a particular sport, and esports moves so fast. We have to make an economic sense of tracking that. So I think it's still in the early days, but our core tech, the core tech that we have, definitely would address that space. So we're looking at it, but really, we have so many opportunities in the traditional physical world. It hasn't been a gigantic priority for us, but we're definitely looking at it, and we'll continue to I think take advantage when the opportunity comes up.
I think along those lines, we look at the sort of maturity, obviously, big 3 sports, and then even going a little bit beyond that. There are tons and tons of, legacies in sports history in the United States that you can very easily define, like, oh, these are the way these graphics should work. This is the way these workflows. I think we're starting to see that on that other side of the world with the esports stuff. So I agree. It's one of those things where you really got to monitor it closely and make sure you make the right efforts, because it does move fast. One of the cool things I started to notice is it's, there's a lot of young people getting involved, and this sort of brings me to sort of where I wanted to talk about towards the end of this, which is these people, the future, and what do you see as the future for AJT, and as you guys continue to move forward with this platform?
Well, I mean, a big part of our business is going to continue to be NDI. Where the majority of the systems we sell are NDI based. So I mean, we've already kind of jumped that gap, if you will, where we're there, and there's no looking back. I think we'll continue to integrate. We're integrating video sources. We have an OCR feature where we can actually read scoreboards or internet, turn video into data, and we take that in over NDI. So kind of leveraging that feature and building on it, I think would be really big for us. We're also expanding the number of operator interfaces that we have, and then also doing some more automation where we have customers that maybe all they have is a technical director or somebody to drive the TriCaster, so they want to set up our system, but not necessarily man it, or not man it for the entire event. So we're looking at doing a lot more automation and having the graphics kind of drive themselves. So that's where I see things going, at least in our ecosystem. And again, continuing to serve the NCAA market. We're Div 1, Div 2, NAIA. We're very strong in the college market, and we're also penetrating down into the high school market. Now there's with we were acquired in June 2018 by Daktronics, so we have a global platform for our business, and it meshes really well with Daktronics and their footprint and where they are in the U.S. and global market. So we'll continue to leverage that, and especially in the high school market. There's, I think, 30,000 high schools in the U.S. So yeah, I love that market.
There's a lot of opportunities, at the high school level, certainly.
Exactly.
This is the beauty of everything, that merger of technology. You guys are integrating automation, obviously been working in huge parts of NDI. And then as you start to look at, how do we do more with less people, if possible, or how do we start to expand what our operators can do? It doesn't have to be just a dedicated graphics operator. People can be more multifunction, and we all sort of see that in our own day-to-days, right? Like everyone's got to be doing more and more out of what they do, whether it's employment or house, you have to be multifaceted. So something like leveraging the AJT system in conjunction with all kinds of production in NDI, I think is really phenomenal.
Yes, and I definitely see it going that way, and there's no turning back. The genie's out of the bottle, right? We're not going to go back to not having the IP video, right?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to end this, Ron. Really, I appreciate you being on this episode of NDI Central Live, and we will see you out in Las Vegas.
Thanks, Chris. See you there.